A warm welcome to the Prostate Cancer Supportive Care Programme's counselling services. We'd like to share a little bit about who we are and what we do. We're a small team of masters trained counsellors and social workers, and we're here to complement the medical team by supporting you with the various practical, financial and emotional concerns that may be associated with your prostate cancer diagnosis.
One of the areas that I find is a common event in everyone's cancer experience, of course, is diagnosis. It is a time when the word cancer is introduced, and that has so many meanings to it that have varying levels of threat that are experienced with it, and that can cause a lot of impact. Just the shock of that diagnosis. We find that that is a time when it's really great for people to have some support.
I do come up against sometimes men feel that counseling is going to be about diagnosing them with, some mental issue or something. And they sometimes come with kind of a story about what they think is going to happen in the counseling office. And I think it's a nice surprise that more often than not at the end it's like, oh, hey, that was actually kind of good.
Here in BC, most of the medical care for prostate cancer is covered, whether that's surgery, brachytherapy, radiation, chemotherapy, and so on, through our medical services plan. However, there may be other costs such as the need to travel, accommodation away from home for treatment, medications for managing side effects, and all of this can add up to quite considerable amounts, and particularly at a time when perhaps you're not able to be working. And so if that is the case, we would invite you to connect with one of the counsellors to explore whether there are other forms of government or non-profit support that's available to you at this time.
Another type of support I'm often providing to folks is navigating, adjusting to different treatments. And I'm really pleased that we have the Prostate Cancer Supportive Care Program to support people through, problem solving when side effects do come up.
For most men and their loved ones, receiving a prostate cancer diagnosis can be a very stressful and uncertain time. Wondering about what treatment might look like, wondering about how this all may affect the future. And so we hope to be able to provide you with a safe, supportive and confidential space to be able to share your concerns and also explore ways in which to be able to adjust to the reality of this new normal.
Also, a safe place to talk about fears, even if it's way too early for them to actually happen. Just being able to talk about them and have that place is something we want to provide.
I find like a lot of people, even if they have really strong support networks of family and friends, sometimes people don't feel like they can talk about their cancer diagnosis and be as candid as they might like to be. I really see a role for us as counselors where people can say what they're feeling and not worry about how the other person's taking that, and not feeling like they have to protect you in that same way where they would if they're talking to a spouse or a child or a friend. So I think even if people feel like they have a really strong support network, there's still a good role for us, especially when, there are big fears about the future.
I think a lot of what I'm doing with gentlemen lately is helping them to expand their definition of themselves, learn about how to cope and thrive, even in spite of a prostate cancer diagnosis. That's kind of what I hold out for. Thank you for tuning in and taking a few minutes to learn about the counseling service that we offer through the provincial prostate program.